And how is it going, everyone? Welcome to Eternal Dungeon. And today we're on the second to last level, so we should be getting close to the end, but we will see. Unfortunately, my internet is still working the same, which I don't think it should be a problem, because as I did yesterday, I can just decrease the bitrate and shit, but you never know when it's gonna drop for 1 second in my winning attempt, like it happened yesterday. But that's fine. It's something that it's impossible to predict, basically. But anyways, let's go to the Arcane Repository. What's so arcane about this place other than the wizards? I don't know, but because these slimes don't really look very arcane. Maybe they are not even slimes, but what else could they even be? Oops, forgot to jump. Also, that tip about, well, I actually didn't say this, but so yesterday I was googling how to do a bandwidth test in YouTube, because that's a feature that Twitch has but YouTube doesn't, right? And I'm like, damn, so it's impossible to know if your connection to YouTube is actually working fine before you start a stream. Like, you have to do it by trial and error, right? That sucks. But then I saw a page that, funnily enough, was Restream.io, the one that had that tip, that you can just set a stream on private. And by setting the stream on private, you can pretty much do a bandwidth test. I mean, you are doing a stream just that nobody else can see, so it's kind of like a non-intended bandwidth test, but it works. So, if anyone wants to bandwidth test on YouTube, you should set the stream to private and you test whatever you want. You can even test the game itself if you want to know how it looks, for example, with low bitrate, right? So that's great. And it's an idea that seems so simple, but it never occurred to me to do that. I don't know why. I guess that whole thing about visibility being public or private is something that I'm still not very used to, but it's very great. So it works. I mean, afterwards, the only thing you need to do is, well, first of all, delete the video, because for every stream you do, a video obviously gets recorded, right? So you delete that test that you did. But what's even more important is remembering to set the stream to public, obviously. Because if you don't set the stream to public, then nobody's gonna see it. In fact, if it wasn't for the fact that I double check, will be fearing right now if I forgot to turn it on or off. But I didn't. I double check and it says public. Those are the only two things that you have to worry about, really. Yeah, I mean, it's a pain in the ass, but I mean, that's something that could still kinda happen with Twitch, if you use that a stream key that has the bandwidth test set to true at the end, and you forget to take that out, you're basically gonna do a bandwidth test while you think you're streaming. So it's essentially the same as doing a private stream. So I guess that's easier to see because you can just go to your own control panel on Twitch and it's not gonna show up. Like the stream is not gonna show up if you are doing a bandwidth test. But on YouTube it does show up because it's a private video. It's not like it's a non-existent video. It exists, but only you can see it. You know? That's the thing. But at least I'm glad that I can test it. So I didn't really need to do that in order to know that it was gonna work not that well. I mean the connection to YouTube. Because I did a speed test, and even if the speeds were not bad, they weren't what they should be, right? So just with a speed test I could see that, you know, it was clearly a problem on my ISP. But that's fine. It doesn't matter. I mean, after all, I think it's happening because there is like well, I don't know how to say it in English, but there is like a very big, like, I don't know if I should call it storm, but basically around the area where I'm in, there is something that is very, you know, very bad weather that probably affected a lot of internet nodes. So obviously it didn't affect them enough for me to not have internet, but it affected them enough to make the connections get a little bit clogged. But you know, I'm glad that at least it works. And it works well, like it's not like I cannot even watch streams or anything else, no. The only thing that I cannot do is stream at the bitrate that I usually stream, but I mean, that's whatever. I mean, whatever depending on the game you play, yes, but you know, just avoid the very seizure-inducing games and you should be fine. As I say yesterday, the problem is that most of the games I play here are seizure-inducing games. So, you know. But I think I do have a couple of Steam games that I bought in the winter sale that are just like this one. I mean, not that they are the same type of game, but that they don't require high bitrate. So I could play those. It's a shame though, because, you know, since the weather, instead of being hot as it was a week ago, it's actually quite cold. I am like, well, I could try playing a 3D game because I know that my computer is gonna be able to run it without overheating. But sadly, with this problem, 3D games are things that are out of the question. So no matter how well my computer runs them, the stream ain't gonna look good. Sadly. Even when you play very old games, like, I don't know, let's say that you play Crash Bandicoot for the PlayStation 1. I mean, even if it's old and the graphics are all, you know, very rough, it's still a game that you're not gonna be able to stream and make it look good if you have a low bitrate. Like, it's gonna look even worse than it already does. And we're talking about PS1 games too. The only good looking PS1 games are the ones that are not 3D. I can't really think of a single PS1 game that is in 3D that actually looks good. Because I mean, yeah, you could name games that are like, yeah, whatever, it's not that bad, right? It's not vomit inducing, yeah, okay, but that's not the same as looking good. And I grew up with the PlayStation 1. But even I have to admit that the 3D games in that platform look very bad. They just look horrible. But it is to be expected. I mean, it was the dawn of 3D video games after all, so they needed to start that somewhere, clearly. But man, I really can't remember though literally any single game that is 3D on the PS1 that looks good. I don't remember a single one of them. So I'm kinda convinced that they don't exist, but there might be one that I don't remember or that I haven't played that maybe does look good. I don't know. I mean, there is a game that I remember that didn't look bad, that was a Toy Story racing game. That game looked good, but I don't know if that's the game actually looking good or that's me misremembering how it looked. Because there are a lot of games that I remember how they look because I seen them relatively, not that long ago, so I know for a fact that they indeed look like shit. But that game, the Toy Story racing game, it's been such a long time since I seen that game that I don't remember. I don't remember if it looked good or not, but probably not. At least it wasn't, for the most part, as badly looking as the Nintendo 64 games. Though you could say that they all really look like shit. It wasn't until the PS2 and the Dreamcast that... Well, the Dreamcast, sorry, not the Dreamcast, the GameCube. I don't know why I say Dreamcast. It wasn't until that 3D games actually look good. Or at least decent. You could actually, if there was a character that was a person, you could at least see it. You could at least figure out that character there is supposed to be a person and not a messy, bunch of polygons. No, the interesting thing is that I personally feel that there really hasn't been that big of an upgrade in terms of graphics from the PS2 to the PS3. I mean, obviously if you compare an early PS2 game to a late PS3 game, like side to side, you will clearly see the difference. But I feel that it's not very obvious, right? It's not something that you will really think of an insane evolution, which is the case with PS1 and PS2. As I said before, PS1 made the 3D look absolutely horrible, while the PS2 actually looks decent. So let's say, for example, that you compare a game like, I don't know, Devil May Cry 3 on the PS2, and you compare it with, let me think of a PS3 game that looks good. let's say, well, what about God of War 3? Though I guess if you're gonna make that comparison, might as well say God of War 1 and God of War 3, right? If we're gonna do a comparison, right? So there is a difference, clearly, as I said before. If you put both games side to side, you will clearly see that the PS3 one clearly looks better, but it's not like an insane evolution, I feel. It's something that it's a natural evolution, but it doesn't feel like the kind of thing that you will be like, damn, I feel like I'm playing on the next generation, you know? And the same thing I think applies to literally every other console. I feel. Well, every other console after that one. So I mean, the very big jumps, I feel like there were from 2D to 3D, and from 3D to 3D that actually looks good, you know? Like, I feel like those were the very big jumps. Because, for example, I don't think that if you compare something like, you know, I mean, again, if you do a comparison between early games from one console and late games from another console, side to side, it's very obvious. But let's say, for example, the Atari and the NES, right? I mean, you can clearly see that the NES is a big improvement, but it's not like you are like, damn, look at this, you know, this huge graphical change, right? The only change I will say that was very significant is obviously the quality of the game. Because good Atari games, there were probably like 10 out of 1,000, right? While the NES had way better games. Not that much. I mean, the ratio is still very low for the NES, but definitely way bigger than for the Atari. I really think that you can use your two hands and you could probably count every single good Atari game very easily. You know. But I guess it also depends on what generation you went through. I think that it really depends on that shock value that you have as a kid. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people that were kids during the Atari era, when the NES came out, they probably think that it was as big of a jump as I think that the PS1 was for the PS2, right? But I don't know. Hey, are you there, Yami? Aren't you from that era? What do you think of the jump when that happened? Well, actually, Yami, no. Yami was a kid when the Super Nintendo release, right? No, he was a kid during the NES, and almost when the Super Nintendo... No, wait a second. No, he was a kid when the Super Nintendo release. Yeah, he was. In fact, I'm pretty sure that he was born pretty much almost at the same time that the SNES came out, right? I guess I can ask him. Whatever. It's the only very big jump that he will be able to tell me will be from the SNES to the Nintendo 64. which, as I said, it's a gigantic change because it went from 2D to 3D, clearly. But, you know, I need someone older. Problem is that I don't have any older people in my chat than that. Or, well, I think I do, but they don't appear that often. Yeah, I think I do have someone in chat that might have been alive during the Atari era, but he's definitely not here. I really want to know how it felt for an Atari kid to see the NES for the first time. Was it really that big of a change? Again, with the quality of the game, clearly it was a big change. But with the graphical impression that the games give you, was it really that big of a change? That's my question, and I don't know the answer. I think I was born around the time where the PS1 released, right? Yeah, I think I was born around that, probably. Though here the PS1 came obviously later, because South America and shit, so I was still playing with the Sega Genesis when I was a kid. You know, that's the very big jump, you know, Sega Genesis to PlayStation. Quite a big change. Well, I mean, now that I think about it, I guess a game on the PS1 that was 3D and didn't look that bad was Crash Bandicoot. I mean, it didn't look fantastic, but when I think of 3D games on the PS1, the first thing that comes to my mind is Tomb Raider. And that game looks like fucking garbage, to say the least, on the PS1. And so do a lot of others, right? Well, Tekken 3 is another good example. I mean, I love that game. The game looks like fucking trash. I mean, the scenarios are super iconic, obviously, as well as the characters, the music, everything, right? But you compare Tekken 3 with something like Tekken 5, and man, Tekken 5 still looks good for today's standards. Tekken 5 is a game that is so beautiful. I don't know about Tekken 4 because I didn't play it, but Tekken 5 looks so beautiful. You know. In fact, I think that when Tekken 5 released, it was probably one of the most beautiful games on console, right? Probably on par with Dead or Alive. They were really the best looking games, I think, at that time. But yeah. I guess it's all a matter of, you know, well, a matter of perception. I guess probably one of the reasons why I didn't notice a lot of PS1 games looking like trash back then is because I really didn't play too many 3D games on the PS1 now that I think about it. I mean, I played Crash, but a lot of the 3D games that I played were car games. And honestly, yeah, car games, you still have the scenery, but you don't see people there, right? Well, I mean, unless you play GTA or something, but like if we're talking about racing games, you don't see characters, you see cars. So the 3D doesn't look that bad because you don't have to stare at a character. But, you know. Yeah, now that I think about it, probably that's one of the reasons why I never really noticed that. I really didn't play that many 3D games on the PS1 when I was a kid. A lot of them were 2D, and the few 3D games didn't really have an emphasis on people. So, you know. I will really need to take a look at my PS1 library and see what I used to play back then. There are a lot of games that I do remember. There are some games that are super bizarre. Like, there are some games that are so bizarre that I never heard anyone talk about them, you know? There are so many games that I feel like I'm the only person in the world that play them, which obviously is not the case, but like nobody ever talks about them. Maybe for a good reason, but you know, there are a lot of games that I felt that were, you know, I think that actually maybe that's the reason why I'm so attracted to this kind of games, right? Like the game that I'm playing right now, for example. Because I think that my whole life has been like that. I always play games that were like what people will call hidden gems, right? Games that nobody knows about, but that they are there. And they are not bad. They are not the best of the best, but they are games that you can play and have fun with. Because I think that everyone always talks about the best games and everyone always talks about the worst games. But almost nobody talks about the games in between, unless that game in between belongs to a saga that is very well known, right? So I think that when I was a kid, I played a lot of those games in between that nobody talks about. They are not the greatest thing ever, but they are definitely not the worst. And I think this game that I'm playing right now is a very good example of that. I mean, this game is clearly not even close to being one of the best games out there, but it's not bad. Didn't care much for graphics back then. I remember Nintendo 64 amazing me. Yeah, I can see that, the jump from 2D to 3D. Anyways, how is it going, Yummy? But yeah, that was my argument pretty much. Like, I feel that the two insane graphical jumps from console generations were from, you know, Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64, and from Nintendo 64 to Nintendo GameCube. Or if you're talking about PlayStation, from PlayStation to PlayStation 2. I think that neither before nor after that were such big champs like those. Nintendo 64 always had better graphics and load times, but PS always had better music and art. Yeah, I can't really talk about the Nintendo 64 because I never owned it, and I think that I literally never played a Nintendo 64 game. I do remember, I think, playing... or did I? Actually don't remember, never mind. But no, I don't think I ever played a Nintendo 64 game. Ever. Never ever. Even on emulators, I'm pretty sure I never emulated the Nintendo 64. But I don't know, because you know, I always forget what the first Star Fox game was featured on. If it was on Nintendo 64, then I did play that one, but I never remember if it's Nintendo 64 or if it's the Super Nintendo where the first Star Fox game is. Considering that it's 3D, I will assume that it's the 64, but I think there are some games on the Super Nintendo that were 3D. A very quote-unquote 3D, but I always thought the games like Final Fantasy VII looked like absolute shit. Yeah, I mean... that's also my argument. A lot of the games from those consoles, and I will be willing to say 99% of the 3D games from that generation of consoles look like fucking trash. And as I say before, it's understandable that they look like trash, but they look like trash. And yeah, Final Fantasy VII is a good example of that. It's a good example of a game where you're looking at monstrosities on the screen. Obviously for a kid back then that was like the best shit ever, but you know, you look back, you know that that's not the case. But at the same time, when you look back and you look at PS2 3D, you don't say the same thing, unless it's a very specific title that specifically looks like shit. But PS2 3D is so much better. And it's the reason why I say that from those two generations of consoles there was a very big gap, you know? Also, hey Kyle, how is it going? But yeah, never really been a fan of the 3D on the PS1. Oh, you are a fucking piece of shit. You know that, right? You want me to slide? I mean, at least it's easy to do, but damn, what an asshole. Looks good if you don't count the models on the overworld. No, I mean, I'm obviously talking about... I'm not talking about the map where you navigate. No, I'm talking about the... when you fight and you see cutscenes. I'm talking about those models. Those models look like absolute garbage. But as I was saying before, that's how most PS1 3D games look like. And that's what I was saying before, that PS1 3D games look like fucking trash. And that wasn't the case on the PS2. The PS2 actually looked good. Or decent, at least. The fight models are different from the overworld. I don't know, but I think they look like shit. I think that 3D looks like garbage. It looks really bad. But as I was saying, it makes sense that that's the case. But what's important is that at least we don't see that shit anymore. Well, we do see that shit. There are some indie games that try to recreate that PS1 aesthetic. I don't know why, but you know, I guess some people can't help playing with nostalgia. But you know. Overworld looked like fat Lego models. Still couldn't be fully detailed, as the battles have a lot of effects the PS1 can barely handle. I didn't notice much of a difference between Nintendo 64 and GameCube. The 3D jump was the biggest since I mostly played 2D games on NES, SNES, I see. Was released only 2 years into the console's lifespan. Yeah, to me, the 3D jump from PS1 to PS2 was huge. Like, I remember playing football games on the PS1, and the models in those games didn't even have a face. Like, they didn't have a face because they couldn't afford having a face. Like, it looks so fucking shitty. Everything in those PS1 football games looks so fucking shitty. And then I remember going to a friend's house that had the PS2, and I'm like, he had a football game for the PS2, and I'm like, wow, that looks amazing, right? Like that looks like it's something that if you're not paying enough attention could look like a real match. Like, especially because I remember those football games running at 60 frames per second compared to the PS1 games that, if I'm not mistaken, run at 30, if not worse. And it was just a world of difference, basically. But you know. Final Fantasy VIII looks much better. The problem now was the low resolution. Anyone a bit more to the deeper parts looks like a shamble mess. I see. Yeah, I mean... it's the way it is. It's the natural graphic evolution. But you know, regardless, to me, when I saw the PS2 in action for the first time, it was just crazy. It was absolutely mind-blowing. Really was a whole nother level. I remember also that same guy that I played the football game. He also had Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi, the first one. And when I saw that game, I instantly fell in love with it. It was like, damn, I need this. I want this, I need this. So, you know, I usually don't really ask my parents when I was a kid. I didn't ask them most of the time to buy me shit. But that was one of the only times where I was like, I want the PS2 for my birthday. And that's exactly what I got. And I also eventually got those 2 games, and those 2 games were really good. And then Budokai Tenkaichi 2 release, and that pretty much alongside Budokai Tenkaichi 3 became my favorite games of all time. Just like that. Everything about those games was really good. Really, really good. I think that might have been one of the times where I remember doing very long sessions with the console. Anyone? Wait, there is one scene where Rinoa tells Squall he's the best looking wonder, and his face is a pixelated nightmare. I mean, they couldn't make very good looking models. I mean, after all, even Lara Croft, that it's supposed to be like this, you know, super sexy special Asian, looks like fucking shit. So, you know, it was one of those things where there wasn't much you could do. The technology just wasn't there yet. But, you know, with the PS2 you got things like Dead or Alive that to this day still has one of the best looking girls in any game. So, you know. The technology definitely was there on the PS2, but not before. If you wanted to make a beautiful looking person, well, character, you definitely needed to keep it 2D. If you made it to 3D territory, it wasn't gonna look good. But thankfully the PS2 fixed that, and from there, well, the graphics just kept getting better. Oh, too low. It's birth, it's Lara Croft breasts. Yeah, I know, right? It's just one of those things, you know. Just one of those things that it's the way it is. At least thanks to that is that we have what we have now. So we needed to start somewhere, and obviously the starting point had to be those ugly as shit models, clearly. So, you know, I don't think it was that bad in terms of what we got out of that, clearly. So, you know. Really. You know, one of these days I really want to play the story mode of Budokai Tenkaichi 2, but I need to make it work on the emulator. Well, that and also my internet at that point will have to work well, because I'm pretty sure that's the kind of game that probably won't look very good if the bitrate is low, with the amount of shit that you can see on the screen. All the explosions and special effects, so, you know. We'll have to get that sorted out too. And it also cannot be hot, because my processor isn't gonna like that. So yeah, it seems that it's not gonna happen anytime soon. What is the difference between Budokai and Infinite World? Yeah, is an Infinite World a PS3 game? I didn't play Infinite World. Or is it a PS2 game? Because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Infinite World the one that pretty much was Budokai 4? Because basically you have the 3 Budokai games. It's PS2, okay. So basically you have... I'm not sure, because the games I play were Budokai Tenkaichi, which is not the same as the Budokai games. Those are 2 different games, which is the reason why most people just call it Tenkaichi, you know? But yeah, the Budokai games, I'm pretty sure Infinite World is supposed to be like Budokai 4. I think, I'm not sure. You have Budokai 1, 2 and 3, and then I think you have Infinite World. I'm not sure, so don't take my word for it, because I didn't play them, but... all I know is that in terms of Tenkaichi, you had Tenkaichi 1, 2 and 3, and then you have Reishin Blast 1 and 2. Those are pretty much like the arena fighters that Dragon Ball has. Though I still think that the best one gameplay-wise is Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and the best one story-wise is Budokai Tenkaichi 2. I played a little bit of Reishin Blast, but I really didn't like the way it controlled. It felt like a step back from Tenkaichi. And then no other game could even get close to it. I tried playing Xenoverse, which is a relatively recent installment of the saga, and the way it plays compared to Tenkaichi really feels like fucking shit. I mean, it's not particularly bad. The problem is that it's just... wait. Oh, fuck. I thought that it was the boss, but it was just this normal-ass bitch. I really thought it was gonna be the boss. But not yet. But yeah, basically, no game so far has been able to... I mean, no Dragon Ball game has been able to be an improvement of Tenkaichi 3 in terms of gameplay. At this point, since we are in the era of remakes, I still don't know why the fuck they don't release a remake of the Tenkaichi games, dude. How are they so dumb? Like, dude, I never ask for remakes because I don't like remakes, right? But if you're gonna be playing that game, I mean the game of releasing remakes, why the fuck has nobody released a remake of Tenkaichi, dude? You know how popular that shit will be? Like, at least around here. I know that in Latin America, Tenkaichi games are super loved. I don't know about Japan, nor do I care, but you know. Damn it. Remaster? Not really. You could remake them. Or remaster, yeah. I mean, you could do both. I don't care which one you do. But obviously the remaster will be a lot easier and cheaper and faster and probably will get them more profit. But yeah, even that, how is it possible that not even that? They don't even release a remaster of those games. I feel like it's completely mind-blowing. Like, how is it possible? Like, maybe the PS2, it's really a lot harder to work with those PS2 games than I might think. I mean, after all, I remember someone saying that the architecture for the PS2 was a mess. So maybe it's not like they don't want to, but they just can't. Like, it will be too much work and it probably will take them more money than they will want for a remaster, right? It will be so cool, especially, like, imagine being able to play Tenkaichi with online. That would be amazing. I mean, official online. Obviously, you can still play online with the emulator, but like official online and shit. That would be sick. They're all too busy playing KOF. Come on, bro. The guys at Bandai Namco are not even the ones responsible for KOF. And if you mean Latin American bros, I mean, dude, I can guarantee you that if they release a Tenkaichi game right now, like a good one, not like Ultimate Tenkaichi that is a rock, paper, scissors simulator that only uses the word Tenkaichi, but like using an actual remaster of those games, you know how popular that shit will be? I mean, way more popular than any KOF game that could release. Because see, here's the thing. Latin American people, just like Chinese people, it doesn't matter how many KOF you release, they are still gonna play 98 and 2002, right? The same way that probably people that are fans of Dragon Balls still only play Tenkaichi, because it's still the best game, the best arena fighter game for Dragon Ball. So imagine if they release a remaster of that. The same way they released the remasters of KOF 2002 and 98. And when they added rollback, they proved to be relatively successful. So, you know, why don't you just do it? So something that I heard is that for some reason Chinese people, the KOF they like playing is 97. Which makes sense, I guess, because I guess story-wise it might be like the most attractive one. But like, who gives a shit about the story, right? I mean, 98 is supposed to be a game that doesn't even have a story, but yeah, I don't know why you would prefer 97. I guess no, I don't get it. No, because 98 has every character you will want at that point, at least, obviously. Like 97 lacks characters in comparison. Yeah, that's a little bit weird. I guess it's the way it is. I mean, especially because 98 has, you know, has Saishu and Heidern, which are characters that are not featured in 97, I'm pretty sure. And at the same time, it has the newcomers from 97 as well. which are Chris, Shermie, and Yashiro. So why will you pick 97 before 98? Doesn't really make much sense. I mean, in terms of competitive play, obviously. Obviously, if you want to beat Orochi's ass instead of Rugal, then yeah, you will have to play 97. But we're talking about fully competitive focus. I don't think there's any reason to prefer 97 over 98. But, you know. What's this? You are a fucking asshole. This is literally the first boss that requires you to slide in order to avoid whatever shit he does. It's literally the first boss to do that. Every single other boss so far requires you to jump and attack. This is the first one that requires sliding. What a bitch. I mean, it was bound to happen. Though something that scares me a little bit is that it says 95%. Usually when you reach the final, well, I mean the boss of the stage, it says 96. So I hope that I don't need to dodge two things. Like maybe after the slide he backdashes and I need to jump. That will suck, but I will see that as being something possible. But I don't know, anything can happen. The good thing is that at least this is more than doable. Just need a good run, but everything is way more than doable. So then, we might actually see the last level today. I wonder how long the last level is gonna take though. But yeah. That reminds me, when does KOF 15 release? Because I give so little of a shit about that game that I don't even know when it releases. I have absolutely no idea when that releases. Ooh, that was close. That's the only sham that can fuck me up. The only thing why I will be interested about that KOF is because of the final boss. But then again, if the final boss is anything like the final boss of KOF 14 or 13, which both of them are super easy to beat, it's like, what's the point? The main reason to play a KOF game is to beat the final boss. And if the final boss is super easy to beat, then what's the point? It's a shame though that that's the case. You know. I would like if they made a boss that was as hard as the first Rugal. That would be sick. A boss that basically doesn't allow you to make almost any mistake. The problem is that on this day and age, there will be so many people bitching about that. But you know, to me, that's like the whole point of the KOF games. Like, that final boss is like the most important thing. So how can you have a KOF without a hard final boss? But the last two that release, the mainline ones, are like that. That's quite a problem. Ooh, I almost died. Oh. What? Excuse me? That was fucking horseshit, and you know it. What killed me there? Like, was the hitbox of the projectile still there or what? Or did I get killed by the guy? By the hitbox of the boss? That was fucking horseshit, dude. I don't know what killed me there. Because depending on one thing or the other, the answer is different. Like, if the projectile is the one that killed me, that means that I have to slide for longer. But if the body of the guy is the one that killed me, that means that I have to attack earlier. And I have no idea which one it was. Fuck me, dude. What an asshole. Damn, I really doubt that it's the hitbox, but... I mean, the hitbox of the projectile, but it has to be that. Because I die as soon as I stop sliding. Like, I didn't die when I hit the boss, so it has to be that. Problem is that if I keep sliding for too long, I'm gonna die. So maybe it's very, very tight timing. God damn it, what a fucking bitch. But it's fine. Damn it. I feel betrayed. I feel scam. I feel hopeless. I'm just kidding. Definitely not hopeless, because I can definitely kill this bitch. It's a matter of knowing exactly how to time that slide. Damn, so it really was it. That shit has a gigantic hitbox. Well, I guess there's only one thing remaining then. The Sanctum of the Guardian, the final level. And it's already lit for some strange reason. Like, it's like the diamond is all white. That's the first time that I see that. Is this super holy? What's this? Alright. That's a good start. Ah, come on. Really dying to that obstacle? Yeah, I'm really dying to that obstacle. No joke. I know that you think that I'm fucking brain dead, but... Fuck. Alright. Wait a second. Is this gonna be a boss rush? Is that what's gonna happen? Well, I mean... I don't know. I remember that being a boss. I think. Or at least, I mean, all of the bosses were that big. I can't remember if it was actually a boss or not. Too high. Well, if it is a boss rush, I can see this being a problem. I can see this becoming a problem. For sure. Damn it. Why did I attack that? It's okay. That's... Oh, 2 attacks in a row after a booster like that. That's messed up. Did that really kill me? I thought that it didn't, but you know, it's fine. Also, it seems that this stage is making a huge use of the mobility modifiers. Like already in the first 15%, most of the obstacles are inside one of those, I mean. Oops. Also, you know what I've been thinking, Yami, now that you mentioned fighting game? I've been thinking that I feel that one day, at some point, it would be nice if we played Guilty Gear Eds. What do you think about that? Probably not anytime soon, but you know, would be nice. As some sort of like chill stream to just battle it out on its Eds. I mean, after all, I suck at the game, and you probably suck too. But at least you know. So here's the thing. You have more knowledge of the game, but probably worse reactions, while I probably have better reactions, but almost no knowledge of the game. So I think it will be a good match. What do you think about that? Will be nice. Pretty sure you will still win, because you will still win, not won. You will still win, because I mean, what the hell? Because in fighting games, reactions are important, but if you don't have the knowledge, it might not work. You know. What do you say? I mean, it doesn't even have to be on stream. I remember when I played against Kael off stream, I played BlazBlue. BlazBlue. I think it was Chrono Phantasma that I played with Kael. Yeah, it was Chrono Phantasma. You know, we could do that at some point. That's almost impossible to see. Yeah, it was Chrono Phantasma. Yeah, I feel like that could be a cool idea. I don't know. I think it would be better if it was on stream though. Yeah, we played a bit of Hisoten Soku as well. A little bit. Though, no, didn't I play Hisoten Soku with Yannick? Or, no, maybe, no, it was you, I think. Yeah, it was you, it wasn't Yannick. It was actually you. Yeah. Ah, you suck of shit. Raspody, fuck you. I mean, in my defense, as I always say, nice English. As I always say, you know, who the fuck uses the word Rhapsody? It's a shitty ass word that nobody uses. It will just be me mashing. I haven't played in many years, like 15. Well, but I mean, you played Strive not so long ago, right? I mean, I understand that Strive, comparing that game to Eds, you know, it's not a fair comparison, but you know, it's not that bad, right? Besides, I'm pretty sure we will both mash. I mean, anyone will mash. Anyone that is not actively playing an old fighting game is gonna mash. Nobody can just pick up a fighting game that hasn't played in a long time or hasn't played at all and start doing shit other than mashing. It's pretty clear. Damn, that shit is fucked up. Hey, Mr. Nico, how is it going? Yeah, it's a long time. We haven't talked. How is everything going? You play that for a day? Well, hey, a day is better than not playing anything for 15 years, you know? Which reminds me, Mr. Nico, how are your plans on going to Canada going? Because, you know, we have a Canadian right here in chat. That guy that goes by the name of Gummies. That guy is Canadian. So maybe he can help you do that. Like give you some tips. Maybe some web pages, some contacts, I don't know. All good, how about you? I'm doing pretty fine. I mean, I'm torturing myself with this game, so basically nothing very different to how things usually are. But yeah. But you know. Are you still planning on that trip to Canada? It's probably a good idea. I mean, after all, well, just as always, you know, I have to accomplish the engineer degree first. It's going to take a while. Will it be possible that you will accomplish the degree there? Like, couldn't you be like a transfer student? Because a lot of people do that, for example, with Japan. You know that everyone nowadays loves Japan, right? There is a lot of people that go there to study as the excuse to be able to travel there. So wouldn't you be able to do that same thing in Canada? Well, actually, that's something that I will have to ask Yami. Can he do that, Yami? Can he become a student in Canada? An abroad student? Probably, right? I'm pretty sure there are a lot of programs like that in many countries, especially countries that want to incentivize immigration, and Canada is definitely one of those. So maybe it will work. I don't know. But yeah. I didn't search that. Canada can wait. I see. Well, if at any time, well, unless you already have someone that you know in Canada, if at any time you need information about Canada, you have that guy in my chat. He's always here. So no matter when, as long as I'm streaming, you're gonna see that guy in chat. Anything is possible with lots of money. International student have... Oh, okay. Well, that might be a problem then. If you need to pay... Yeah, okay. Then that rules out that possibility. Especially... Well, coming from any Latin American countries, needing to pay to study is not a good idea. Yeah. I mean, after all, you know, Yami, the university here, or at least public university, is free. Like, you can actually go to a public university and do a whole degree for free, from beginning to end. The thing is that usually public universities here completely fuck you in the ass with how hard they are. So most people end up giving up and end up going into, like, they either end up going to a private university where it's obviously easier as long as you pay, obviously, or they end up dropping out of university altogether. But basically, if you actually have balls and you are determined enough, you can basically become a professional for free here. So that's crazy to think about. Which is also the reason why so many other Latin American citizens come here to study, especially from Chile. There is a lot of people from Chile that come here just to study in universities, because universities in Chile, as far as I know, they are not free. In fact, they are quite expensive. But yeah, that's one of the things. Like, if you had to name good things about this country, that's one of them. Free universities. You can just get a degree, and a very important degree. Like, we're talking about an internationally recognized degree. Like, we're not just talking about a degree that nobody gives a shit. We're talking about something that actually holds weight, both nationally and internationally. And all of that for free. It's crazy. Yeah, probably one of the only good things that you could count of this country. What about you? Are you... Yeah, I'm still there. I'm still working there, and for now I plan on keep working there, you know. How is everyone? Well, I don't really talk to many, because, you know, I'm working remotely. Like, I'm not even in... I'm in a coast city right now. I'm not even in Buenos Aires anymore. So basically I'm permanently working remote. So, you know. Basically I don't talk to anyone other than... Well, other than Mr. Tincho. Which probably rings a bell for you, doesn't it? It's pretty much the only one that I talk to the most. Because obviously he's the one that tells me what to do. I'm basically doing the same things that you were doing before you left. Actually, well, I'm kinda doing a combination of what you and Sebas used to do here. I'm basically doing... I think I'm doing the work for both of you. No, I'm just kidding. We actually have new people working on those projects that are actually doing very well. Just that I'm the one that gets the heavy shit because I'm the one that has been in the company for the longer time in this project, obviously. So yeah, but you know, yeah. Other than that, I don't know about many of the other guys. I don't really interact with anyone that is not in my project, so I wouldn't be able to tell you how the rest are doing. Oh shit. Ah, fuck. You're the fusion of mine and Seva. I might be. It could be possible. Yeah, basically, well, I know of someone, you know, Ruben. Well, I don't know if you call him Ruben or Ruben, but he came to my chat like a week or two ago, so I'm assuming he's doing well. I don't know if he's still in the company. I think he is. Don't you talk with Porto? Yeah, but since I'm, you know, I'm in the Rupo, that's how you call it. But yeah, basically, well, the thing about Porto is that you know that the project that we work at has basically two big teams. I used to go, you know, work by Porto orders, but I basically got transferred to Tincho's team. So I don't really follow Porto orders anymore. You know, I'm no longer working at the specific sites. You know, basically, just to make it simpler, I'm the main Títulos guy. I'm the main one that works on that page. Everything else is completely secondary. I basically became the Títulos manager. Well, not manager, but the one that writes the code for that thing. The rest of the mini projects, I don't really touch them that much. Basically, I mean, sometimes I do autogestión a little bit, but I'm basically in those two. I'm no longer in subastas, which was my main thing back when you were in the company, but pretty much ever since the remote work started, I'm no longer there. So, you know, the people that work there still ask me some things, because I'm basically the only one left from where that mini project started. So they ask me some things when they don't know what to do, but for the most part they can handle themselves, thankfully. I mean, thankfully the new co-workers that we have are very good at what they do, thankfully. So that's something that has always been the case in this company. I don't know how they do it, but almost always everyone that gets hired in this company is super good. I don't know how they do it. How do they find people like that consistently? I mean, obviously those people later on leave the company because they realize that they are actually good and they could get paid better someone else. But it's crazy to me that every single person that they hire is good. I don't know how they do it. Is the technical test really that efficient at filtering people? Maybe it is. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe the technical test that you need to pass to enter the company filters all the the unworthy ones. But it really is crazy. It must be, yeah, probably. I remember, dude, when I did the technical test like 3.5 years ago, I almost gave up. I almost was like, nah, there's no way I can do this shit, dude. Like, there is no way I can actually finish this shit in time. And the funny thing is that there wasn't even a time limit. The time limit was in my mind. Like, you could do that for as long as you wanted to, but to me I was like, I need to do this fast. And I almost gave up. I'm glad I didn't. But, you know, I was almost at the verge of walking away, and I would have gotten filtered. But, you know, just needed to calm down a little bit. Then again, I'm very sensitive to tests usually. Like, if someone puts me to test like that, like they gave me something and they tell me, hey, you need to do this, and, you know, obviously the result is gonna be important, right? So if there is a test like that, I always get nervous. I mean, most people do, obviously, but I mean, it took me a while to, yeah, I think it took me like 2 hours probably to do it. But the good thing is that if you can do the technical test, you are pretty much guaranteed to be hired. Like, I don't think there was anyone that they gave it the technical test and they didn't get hired afterwards, after they passed it, I mean. Like, I think everyone that passed the technical test has been hired without exception. You know, that's also pretty good, because there are a lot of companies that, well, at least I hear that there are a lot of companies that make you do something technical, a technical test, and even if you pass it, they still don't call you at the end. And that fucking sucks. But thankfully here, as long as you... As long as you pass the test, you're in. Yeah. Basically, when it comes to me, I don't really plan on leaving the company at all. Like, if what I'm doing right now, I can still keep doing it the way I'm doing it, I'm just gonna remain here. If I can work from home 6 hours a day, that's all I need. That's all I need. If that is the case, you know, it's everything that I need. Ah, that's so fucked up. 32% though. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's something that cannot be understated, how important working from home is. Working from home is the best thing. The best thing that could happen. I remember when I was about to switch companies because I wanted to go to a company where I could work from home. And then this pandemic started and we basically were forced to work from home. And that was the best thing that could happen, basically. That's the best thing. Very beautiful thing. Priceless. Tim, I didn't kill you, are you shitting me? It wasn't close enough. It's basically... It's crazy. Oops. So damn, sometimes when I think about it, it's very crazy to think that I've been working for, you know. What you mean doing the same amount of work as other? What makes you think that? What makes you think that I do the same amount of work as others? That's something that you are assuming. I mean, dude, there are literal days where I don't do shit. There are days that I really don't do shit. I mean, a lot of times, there are some days that I could do more, but as soon as the clock marks the end of my shift, I'm like, well, yeah, we'll see this tomorrow, bye. I mean, it's just the way it is. Damn it. That's the good thing. You know that, in fact, I will tell you this. A lot of people at my company work more hours than they should. Because oftentimes they keep working even after their shift is done. Because, you know, usually they are not punctual. I'm hyper punctual, and because I'm hyper punctual, even if there is still work that will need to be resolved for the day, as soon as the shift ends, I'm out. I'm out. Like, screw you, I'm not gonna work for free. But I can definitely tell you that a lot of people are not like that. A lot of people, if there is something that needs to be finished for the day, they stay. Especially now that they can work from home, they stay. I don't. I start my shift at 1 hour and I end my shift at another hour. Not sooner, not later. And there are often times when there is not even enough work to do in that shift. So there are some days where I end up not doing shit. Not because I don't want to, because there is nothing. But, you know. Other people shacking it. I mean, I know for a fact that that's not the case. I seen them even, you know, we use a Discord, right? Like, yeah, our company uses Discord. We also use Slack, but I mean, we usually use Discord for working, funnily enough. And I see a lot of people usually being in the channels, streaming their window while they are working, because they need to work on something together, you know? So I know for a fact that they don't shack it 7 out of 8 hours, you know? Not to mention the people that have direct interaction with the user. Because, for example, I'm only a programmer, but there are people that are the project managers and people that are not really project managers but are like aspiring to be. And those people need to follow the time that the user makes them work at. So if the user decides to send them an email at 6 p.m., they probably have to do something about it if it's urgent enough. So yeah, they are definitely not shacking it 7 out of 8 hours. As I say, especially not the ones that interact with the user. Thankfully, I'm not like that. I just code. I'm a code monkey. I don't do anything else other than coding. And I made that very clear as well. Now, you know, a lot of times they offer me to have a more active role with the user, and I say no, I don't want to. I hate talking to people, so no. Especially people that do not cooperate. So I'm like, fuck that. I will keep being a code monkey. I don't care. I can even feel the stress from people talking to the user. Like when they have meetings with the user, man, when they come out of that, it's like they just got their soul sucked out of their body. It's like, damn, you want me to do that shit? Fuck you. But yeah, that's basically how it goes. I don't know how people can be like that. How people can interact with the user without going insane. Few things are worse than interacting with other humans. Maybe. And that's exactly my point. Especially when it comes to businesses, talking to other people is like, no. So, you know, that's why I like the position that I'm in so much. I just code. And I'm good at it. That's the only thing I do. And I can do it from the comfort of my home. So, because of that, I don't want to lose this comfort just for the chance of being paid a little bit more, you know. You don't know what you have until you lose it. And I know that if I try to do something stupid, like trying to apply for another company, I'm basically gambling a situation that is fine. Right? Like, I'm fine. So, I don't want it to go worse just because I can earn a couple more coins, you know? I don't want to. Besides, there is another thing. I don't know if this works like this in Canada, but there is a law in this country. It probably is the same in Canada, I'm assuming. I mean, after all, a lot of the laws here were copied straight from the USA and other countries. So. But like, there is a law here that the more you stay in a company, the more vacations you will have. So if you're old enough in a company, you will be, for example, able to go on vacation for like 2 months. especially if you have vacations reserved from other years, right? I don't know if that's the case in Canada or other countries, but here, the longer you stay in one company, the longer vacations you can have. Wow, that's super fucked up. I need to attack. That's gonna fucking suck. But it's fine, I can do it. You know. Well, I think that, now that I think about it, in the USA those kind of things usually work a little bit differently, right? Like, in the USA, I think that there's barely even paid vacations, right? In the first place. I guess it depends on the job and the state, but I heard that in the USA, vacations are almost non-existent. But here basically, well, just like probably every other country in the world, you have paid vacations every year. That wasn't that bad. Damn it. I did the reverse thing that I needed to do there. Oops. You know. I needed to attack sooner. Fuck. It's okay. At least I'm getting close to halfway through. So I gotta assume that this is a level that I can definitely beat by tomorrow. I mean, well, hopefully it's sooner. But I think that tomorrow it can definitely happen. These fucking mines that need to be attacked are really gonna fuck me up. Really don't want to imagine how the second half of this stage is gonna be. I don't even want to imagine how the boss of this stage is gonna be. Like, it's probably gonna require slide and jump and maybe some other shit, I don't know. Anything could happen. So I'm very curious to see how many people were able to beat this stage. Because for what I've seen in the achievements, like around the third or the fourth stage, there were already like only like 5% completion on Steam. want to see just how many people were able to beat this stage. That will be funny to see. It will definitely be quite funny. Oh, damn it. I always fuck that one up. It's because it's so hard to think that you need to press the jump button to go down. Usually think that you need to use it to go up, but that's not the case there. No. Can't believe that our little guy came so far. Very proud of him. And all in that shitty ass armor. Just like that. No, too early, that's fine. Too low. Well, that section seems long, so, but I don't think it should be that hard to do, really. It really should not. It would be pretty nice if I could beat this today, but I think that that's unrealistic. I think that it's very unrealistic to beat this shit today. But it could happen. I mean, if the second half is somehow easier than the first half, I could definitely beat this today. But that's clearly not gonna be the case, right? Why will that be the case? There is no reason for that to be the case. Oops, that was out of range. A little bit out of range, but that's fine. I mean, after all, I'm also surprised that there are not two types of enemies in this stage. I mean, technically there are, because you have one of them that throws projectiles and another one that summons shit, but they look exactly the same, right? They look literally the same, or am I blind? I might be blind. Will be a possibility. Damn, I'm dying to that blade a lot right now. Also, you know, I like a very cool little detail that the knight has, which is the fact that he's grabbing the sword like in a way where his his hands are in like the opposite position of the other. I mean, which is usually how you will grab a sword, especially that big. But I like that that detail is there. Instead of grabbing it in a weird way, it actually grabs it how it should grab it. Or instead of not even, specifying it, you can actually see it. Also, yeah, both enemies look exactly the same. They just do different shit. Unless there is another enemy afterwards, which might be the case, you never know. Ah, fuck me. Really? Very easy to jump early on that thing. You need to wait a little bit more. Can't jump that early. I don't know why I crouch there. Well, crouch, slide. Oh, it's the same thing at this point, because obviously you can't just crouch in this game. You will need to slide, because you are obviously constantly moving. So, you know. Too high. A little bit too high. Also, the level is called the Sanctum of the Guardian. Is the Guardian gonna be the final boss? But the Guardian of what? Of a gem? Am I only doing this to collect those gems? That's probably the case. Really? Ooh, I don't know how I survived that. I'll take it. Damn. I couldn't jump in time, oopsies. I'm really curious to see what's after the purple area where you need to zigzag the blades. Really wonder what's after that. I need to... well, I first need to get there again, and then I need to beat that area. So that's gonna be hard, obviously. Too late again. See, the problem there, a lot of times die because I'm sliding too early. The reason why you die for sliding early there is because your character is hitting with his head the blade that he should jump over. So you You can't do that. You don't do that. It's a bad idea. Ah, too low. It's a little bit hard to, in those purple sections, to try to go down and attack at the same time. It kinda fucks up with your brain. Or at least with my brain. Not very good at multitasking after all. I fucked that up again. It's very hard to tell yourself to not press anything when that comes. It's super hard. But it's okay, I can still do it. At least want to get past the 50%. That will be cool. Also, I like that the song is ominous, but at the same time it's very chill. Like, it's not the kind of creepy ominous. It's also quite upbeat, you know? Oops. So I'm kinda trying to think. Like, you know that exploring dungeons is something that is very common in a lot of games. Obviously this game being one of those. But I wonder where the inspiration came from, because would it be possible that in the Middle Ages, like, there were knights that tried to explore caves that were not explored before, and when they enter and then came out, they invented all of these stories just to elevate their status. Like, for example, let's say there is a knight that goes to investigate a cave that is just a regular cave that doesn't have anything other than just some animals, right? And then when he comes back from the cave, he tells everyone how he slayed a dragon and how he did all this cool shit that is obviously impossible, but at the same time, since they cannot be proven wrong, and if people had trust in them because they were knights, then they could probably get away with doing with saying a lot of bullshit, and everyone would probably believe them. I don't know if that was the case, but that's just a random thought that came to my mind. Because, you know, back then it wasn't like there were a lot of things that depended on faith. You know, I'm pretty sure that one of those things was probably believing people when they say something, as ridiculous as that something might be, right? Well, it's just like how priests used to say things like, you are being possessed by a demon. I need to do a ritual to take the demon out of you, right? And they had to be believed because they didn't know any better, right? So I'm pretty sure that it's not just priest and those kind of people, the ones that lied like that. Like, I'm pretty sure there could have been a knight that just went to explore something and, you know, just basically tells you how insane the creatures that he found in that place were and how he killed them all, so you cannot see them by yourself. And, you know, because of that they probably got promoted or something. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where a lot of these legends can probably come from anyways. These legends with dragons and shit. But I don't know. Not very well versed in history, so I wouldn't be able to confirm. But it's probably something like that. Maybe. I don't know. Anything could happen. Also, I did reach 50%, so at least that's cool. Almost 60, but... And I died to a very stupid obstacle, really. I can definitely get back there and get further. Like, I really don't know how I died to that obstacle. Guess I was too busy thinking about... you know, knights lying and shit to pay attention to what was going on. Too fast. Well, I'm too early more than too fast. At least that section with the purple shit is very long. And even if it's still very easy to fuck up, it's easy to fuck up at the beginning. Once you're in the flow of that purple section, you can just get to the end without much trouble. And when you do that, you can just... You basically go through a big portion of the stage without really doing anything hard. That's good. But yeah. Oh, that's an interesting change. Also, look at this purple area. This seems like a huge purple area that you're probably supposed to dodge shit in it. Probably because it looked very big and I didn't see anything. So what I'm thinking is that you're probably gonna get shot from afar and you need to dodge those bullets, Toho style. Will be fucked up, especially because I'm assuming that a lot of those bullets will be near unreactable, so you will probably need to memorize it. But you know. Well, that's interesting. I fucked it up because my first reaction when I see this is just pressing the jump button, but... So you don't need to dodge bullets. Basically, the enemy that spawns those static bullets, well, I guess you, at the end of the day, you still dodge bullets, but they are basically, they don't move, they are static. So that should be fine, I think. Really? Too late? Damn it, dude. That's the second time that I died like that. And that's such a dumb death as well. Fuck. Damn it, dude. Come on, focus. I can't believe I died twice in a row like that. That's a very dumb death. It's probably not the dumbest death. Like that one that I just got there, it was way dumber, but... You know, it's still a very dumb death. To die on that yellow shit. Because you didn't jump. It's very dumb. I need to stop that. Now I did it too early. Damn it. Am I gonna mistime that now? Come on, dude. That jump is not even supposed to be hard. Oops. That's one of the first times that I died to that in these attempts. I died to that at the beginning when I didn't know how to do it, but I shouldn't be dying now. Damn it. Damn it, dude, come on. Don't die to those projectiles. So you can go very high. The issue here is that the camera barely even shows you the top. Though I'm pretty sure what you're supposed to do here is go over the first one and then under the second one. Because obviously you're supposed to kill this guy. If you want to kill this guy, I don't think you can kill it from the top. Or maybe you can, but it's probably way harder. That's probably a zigzag like the one before. Just that this one is way less clear, I guess you could say. You know, it's still there. Yeah, sometimes when it comes to the verticality of the camera in this game, it kinda gets in the way. When you suddenly go too high or you suddenly go too low, the camera cannot really keep up. It should be a little bit faster, I feel. I mean, not like it's really needed to beat the level, but it would be nice if the camera reacted a little bit faster. As it obviously auto-scrolls to the right, so the horizontal scrolling is not a problem. But the vertical scrolling does seem to be a slight problem. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Press jump instead of attack. Oh, come on. I'm dying because I'm sliding early. What's next on the shit list? Why do you care? I mean, you're not gonna like it anyway, so why do you even bother? Besides, even if I say the name, you're not gonna recognize it anyways. So what's even the point of that question? Other than triggering a reaction. Come on, bro. Besides, I don't know, it depends on my internet after all. If my ISP decides to be a bitch, then that will mean one game. If my internet doesn't decide to be a bitch, then that means another game. You know, that's a variable that I didn't think I needed to take into account, but here we are. I do need to take it into account. I'm feigning interest and care for the sake of conversation. Oh, come on, but you can trigger a better topic than that. I mean, I don't mind. I like the fact that you want to get a conversation going, right? But come on. That's not gonna be very interesting as a conversation. Like, if you want to get an interesting conversation, you have to look for something more than a single answer. You have to ask more, you have to ask harder questions than that. Because if I tell you the name of the game that I have planned, You're probably gonna Google it, you're gonna be like, it looks like shit, lol, then I'm gonna insult you, and that's where the conversation ends, right? So that's not very interesting. You need to go deeper. Actually, I have the perfect topic of conversation, you know? Now that I think of it, I was watching a stream earlier today, and the chat was talking about one topic for a very long time, because it's a very heated topic apparently, which is putting fruits on pizza. For example, things like bananas or pineapples, right? What do you think about that? I'm curious to think, what do you think about pineapple or banana pizza? What's your view on it? I'm very curious to hear that. I might have asked you that question already, but if I ask you that question, it probably was 2 years ago. And that's long enough for me to obviously not remember the answer. So hey, let's have the conversation again. What do you think about pineapple pizza? I mean, after all, your American brothers invented it, so you know. Well, to be precise, well, they are still American, but if I'm not mistaken, it was Hawaii, the one that invented it, right? Probably. I mean, Hawaii is a very stone place after all. So it is something that you know, sounds about right. But yeah, I think I tried pineapple pizza once. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it's not something I will want to eat. Like, if someone asks me, hey, I can make you any pizza you want, which one you want? I wouldn't say pineapple pizza, clearly. I will either say something like, you know, the classic ham and cheese, or, you know, something that has salami or whatever, or 4 cheeses pizza. Something like that. I definitely wouldn't go with pineapple, clearly. But, you know, it's not bad. There are special hospitals for those mentioned. What, you mean for Hawaiian people? Yeah, of course there are special hospitals. They are called Hawaiian hospitals, right? But see, that's what I mean. You see how spicy this topic is, how so many people, Yami included here, gets triggered at the thought of having pineapple in pizza. Like it's as if someone inserted a staff in his ass. That's the kind of knee-jerk reaction that people have, and I don't know why. I mean, I understand that it doesn't sound very appealing, and I can at least guarantee you that it's not that appealing. I mean, it's not like it's horrible. It tastes okay. I mean, it's whatever, right? It's one of those foods that has the combination of sweet and, you know, sweet and fuck, what's the other one? Well, whatever the opposite of sweet is. Was gonna say salty, but I think salty is not the word. But whatever the word is. sour, right? That's how you say it. I think that's the word that I'm looking for. But I'm probably looking for salty, actually, more than sour. Too low. Hawaiian pizza originated in Canada. Lots of food named after countries like French fries and shit have the wrong country in the name. Oh, really? So you are the one that is responsible for this, Yami? Is that what you're telling me? Damn, so you might have an even better formed opinion than anyone else. So tell us, what's your experience with your local cuisine? AKA the Hawaiian pizza. I'm sure you have a very high opinion on one of your national treasures, right? I mean, why not? That's how, but then it's hard to go back up, and then you have to go down again. That's gonna be hard. I gave my answer. What's wrong with it? I mean, come on. You see, that's what I don't understand. Why do people that have an opinion about pineapple pizza are always so extremist? Like, it's either the best thing in the world or an abomination. I don't understand. What's wrong? I mean, what's wrong with people, not with the pizza? I mean, I could understand why you wouldn't like it, but like, I feel like there is a problem with people here. I mean, I know that it's very common to pick extremes instead of a more neutral position, but it seems like this is one of those topics that divides people even more than politics. I don't understand why. Or maybe it's part of a very elaborate joke that everyone just pretends to be triggered. Which might be the case, and it's most likely the case. But you know. I mean, have you at least tried it? Because that's the main question here, you know? Because a lot of people that shit talk usually have not even tried it, you know? And I did try it, and it wasn't bad, it wasn't good either, it was like whatever. It's something that exists. It's there. It's a thing. I mean, it's just like this game is a thing, you know? Oops. Yes? Oh, come on. And why didn't you like it? I mean, no. Why did you hate it? Because again, I can understand why you wouldn't like it, but like, it feels like a pineapple pizza should, I don't know, a pineapple pizza kill your dog or something. It makes me think that the pineapple pizza is your nemesis. But what's wrong with it? Oops. I don't think it was that bad. And especially pineapple is one of those fruits that is not that fucked up, right? Because you could put a lot more fucked up fruits there. Like for example, you could make an orange pizza using, well, obviously that. And that will be probably a bad idea. That will probably taste very badly. But pineapple is like whatever. And I didn't try banana pizza, but I'm assuming that that one isn't that bad either, considering that it's still a very mild fruit. Like it's not particularly acid, it's usually just sweet. I will say that probably an acid fruit will kinda ruin it. But I don't know, I also didn't try that. Damn it. Those people don't exist, it's elaborate trolling. What you mean those people? The people that are extremists? Oh yeah, I kinda expected that, but like, you know, it's quite crazy. Because a lot of times it doesn't feel like they are trolling. You know, especially in Twitch chat, when you say something as a joke, you could usually use Kappa as an emote to accompany that joke. Because usually in the internet it's hard to tell that someone is joking unless it's incredibly obvious, right? I don't think it's incredibly obvious here. Like, so that makes me think that there are people that legitimately hate, as in they think it's an actual offense that pineapple pizza exists. The people who condone the existence. Damn it. See, for example, now I can't tell if you're joking or not. That's the problem. Like, half of me is telling me that you're joking, and half of me is telling me that you're not joking. And in a 50-50, I obviously don't know who to pick. So I don't know, dude. You gotta understand. If I was standing right next to you, it would be very easy to tell by the tone of your voice and your facial expressions. But with text, I can only interpret how you're saying that in my head. So I can't tell. I mean, since it's so drastic, so extremist, I will assume you are just kidding. But I've seen it so much that I really don't know if it is a joke or not. I can't tell. Too high. you know. Oops, I kinda forgot about that. Kinda. So, you know, something that I'm a little bit curious how it will be, since we're talking about Canada here. What will happen if you made a pizza, but instead of using tomato sauce, what if you use a maple syrup, right? How will that taste? I mean, that could be another Canadian delicacy, right? I wonder if that exists. Maple syrup pizza? That will be something. I mean, I don't even know how maple syrup even tastes. I wouldn't know how that combination will be. But, you know, maybe it could work. Or maybe not. It's impossible until you try it. Disgusting? I mean, I don't know. I will be curious to see how it tastes. I mean, it most likely tastes like shit, because different from pineapple, I don't think that maple syrup is something that you can mix with something that is as salty as pizza is, right? But you never know, it could be a good combination. I would like to try it. I wonder, as I said before, if it actually exists. Like if there is a restaurant that serves it. Because there probably is. There most likely is a restaurant somewhere that sells that. That will be interesting. It will definitely be interesting. I needed to go down a little bit further. I really wonder if I can just ignore that guy, but I don't think I can. I probably cannot. But it will be nice to try. Damn it. Too early. Well, in any case, to answer your previous question, Yami, about what game I think to play after this one, in case my ISP is still shitting the bed, which is the most likely scenario, I will be playing a game that is called, well, very similarly to this one, is called Instant Dungeon. Instead of Eternal, that one is Instant. Not really supposed to be a game to take very seriously though, but it's one of the only ones that I bought that I could play with low bitrate, so that's why. I wouldn't play that game that early, but since the bitrate is the way it is, it's the way it is. Alright, 75% is not bad. That's a decent percentage. At least I got past that purple part. The problem is that these shumps are so chokeable. These like slow shumps, these ones. And they are there at the 75% mark, so that's a problem. Though at least something that I gotta be thankful for is that at least they are, well, so far, and hopefully they don't come later, but they are in double block shumps, so that's very good. But they could come at any point in time, but hopefully that doesn't happen. I did it too late. Need to do it a little bit earlier. How many times am I gonna die to that? Because of that slide. I'm surprised that slide even affects the hitbox like that. Like, I'm surprised that the developer even bothered making the hitbox horizontal there instead of just... Well, I guess otherwise it could be probably exploited or something. Probably. Yeah, I guess it could. I mean, after all, if it wasn't for the fact that the hitbox is horizontal, there will probably be no downside in just using it. Really. Jump straight into the blade. Damn it. You stop jumping straight into the blade though. That will be pretty cool. Oops. You know, I think that reaching 75% is a good signal. Like, like, anything can happen, because I obviously don't know what's after that 75%. But I think I should be able to beat this one tomorrow. Like, I really think I should. That would be great. But it's impossible to know. It's just absolutely impossible. But we will see. Because after all, we will be getting that full playthrough. Though, before, I want to check, as I said before, what's the completion rate for this last level. If it's very different from the second to last level, we might have a problem, but I don't know. So apparently the second to last boss has a 2.8, while this one has, no, it's 4.3 for the second to last one and 2.8 for the last one. So, okay. I mean, it's not that big of a difference, so I think that I should be able to do it, I'm assuming. But, you know, anything could happen. Also, apparently the boss in the previous level was a beholder. You know, one of those one-eyed dragons. And he looked like a beholder, yeah. Yeah. 2.something% is definitely not very low. I mean, after all, I would be scared if it was something like 0.5%. That will be very low compared to the previous one. But with this percentage, I should be fine. I definitely should be fine. Oh, come on. Just needed a slide. A little slide in there. Damn, I did that jump that long? Didn't expect that jump to be that long. But I definitely gotta assume that I can beat this tomorrow. Really hope I'm not wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. I do not think so. Damn it. It's a little bit... Well, I honestly, so far this level doesn't feel that much different from the previous levels. So it will all depend on that last quarter of the level. after that 75% to see how fucked up it's gonna get. I think it should be fine. Hopefully. Too early. I've been dying like that like 3 or 4 times in that 44% obstacle, that I choose attack too early because that champ is so fast. So I always think that I'm gonna get killed by the mine, but I always, well, not always, but I oftentimes choose attack very early because of it. Too low. Last time it was too high and now it was just too low. Just too low. That's fine. Too early. I really need to learn how to time those slow jumps, because they are gonna come after that. Well, right in that 75% is when they appear, and I need to be able to do them by then. But it does seem like they might be almost as precise as 2-block jumps. I don't think they are as precise, but they are almost as precise. And that's because of the way the hitbox of that thing works. That thing, even though it looks like a semicircle, the hitbox is a square. So it's kind of a pain in the ass to jump over that. I say kinda because I'm feeling generous. Come on, dude. That's one thing you should never die to. Yeah, exactly that thing. That projectile, like, come on, dude. How are you dying to that? Damn it. I don't know why the slide didn't trigger there. Or it probably triggered and I still was too high, too close to the spikes. So I'm having some troubles now. Like, I'm actually not landing on time there. Because you can trigger a slide whenever you want. You can trigger it in the air. But it does... Oh, never mind. You cannot trigger it in the air. No. You can do it in the air only if you're already doing it. Oh, that's the problem. I'm not even landing. So I shouldn't hold the slide button in the air. I should just press it as soon as I land. That's my problem. You can't just let it... You can't just hold it down, is what I'm trying to say. Doesn't work that way. For some reason I thought that I didn't need to jump there. But I remember that I didn't jump there normally. Maybe it's because I was sliding or something that it didn't work. I think that when you're under that purple thingy and you slide, you go up faster. Maybe that was the problem? I don't know. Well, I think I have a solid base for tomorrow, but... I don't know, dude. I'm really depending on whatever happens after that 75%. If whatever there is after that 75% is not easy, I'm gonna be in real trouble. Looks better than this. You should say that to be a contrarian. You are just saying that because you love being a contrarian. No, actually it's not that you love being a contrarian. You love being a contrarian when I'm present. I know it makes you feel good. Okay, so I was right. The reason why I died there before is because I slide. And sliding means that you're gonna go up faster. But normally you're not supposed to jump as soon as you get into the purple. Oops. But yeah, that game, I think that it's the only one, or one of the only ones, of the ones I bought that I can play without affecting the bitrate too much. So, it's a good idea, I think, personally. Oh, I almost fucked it up again. For some reason I'm sliding longer than what I usually do, so I got scared there. I need to end the slide sooner. But it's okay, I don't need to be scared. That's the main issue. Being scared is gonna fuck me up. Oh, but I'm still having that problem, damn it. I don't know why this is a problem now. Like every time I got out of that purple area, I never had trouble sliding afterwards. But for some reason now I can't slide in time because I'm not landing in time. So I need to go lower after the purple area. God damn it. Come on, that cannot be a problem right now. Need to have this sorted out before tomorrow, I feel. So there's not that much time left, so I guess I will have to sort that out tomorrow. Probably. I don't know. Okay, that works. That just works. Too low, come on. At least I've been able to get through that purple area that I just died in. I was able to beat that once, but that seems like if there's nothing especially fucked up after that, that's probably the hardest part of the level. Though I will assume that there's gonna be something fucked up afterwards. You know, that one is fucked up not because it's hard to know what you're supposed to do, but it's because it's hard to execute properly. Because just like everything else in the game, once you know what to do, it's not that hard to do it. But that area doesn't seem like if you know how to do it, that's it. Like, you actually need to do it. You actually need to execute it properly. That might be an issue. Damn it. Unfortunately, tomorrow is not a Friday. Because if it was Friday, I could basically keep tryharding this for a long time and not care about when I will end. But tomorrow is Thursday, so... Because I can already imagine tomorrow that what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna get close to the end of the stream. And I'm not gonna be able to beat it. I might be close, and I might have even reached the boss. Or not, I don't know. But I still wouldn't be able to get that additional thing going. But I don't know. Anything can happen. Okay, I'm gonna do 3 more tries and then I'm gonna finish for today. It's a shame because, I mean, 75% is a very good personal best, but I would have liked to see more. Because I can already tell that in that last 25% there's gonna be something very fucked up. And it's gonna fuck me up, probably. Oh, almost. Ah, come on. Well, that's one try. Damn it, dude. I don't get it. I just don't get it how I died to that. I mean, I understand that that jump is still hard to do, and I even die sometimes at the beginning, but like, come on. I die in the exact same way, which is by jumping early. Also, okay, that attempt doesn't count. Let me do one more while I'm fully focused. Oh, that sucks. That's a very lame way to die, but you know, it's the way it is. I think I'm gonna leave it here. And that last level will have to be tryharded tomorrow, and hopefully I can finish it tomorrow. But you know, it really will depend on, I don't know. Will depend on how much I can get good tomorrow. So yeah. But in any case, thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream with more Eternal Dungeon. So have a good one, and take care.